To the outside world, a person who doesn't talk is often painted with a single, broad brushstroke. They are shy, introverted, antisocial, or aloof. This is the first and most critical point to understand. Silence is not a monolith. It is a complex behavior with a universe of different causes, motivations, and internal states behind it. Imagine silence as a lake. Some lakes are quiet because they are shallow and still. Others are quiet because they are impossibly deep, their surface calm betraying the vast, teeming world beneath. Most quiet people are the deep lakes. The reasons someone might be quiet can be broken down into several core psychological categories. A single person is often a blend of several of these. For these individuals, talking is not the primary mode of processing. Their mind is a private workshop of ideas. Internal processing versus external processing. This is a fundamental difference in human psychology. External processors think by talking. They use conversation to organize their thoughts, figure out what they mean, and build ideas. Internal processors do all of that work inside their heads. By the time they speak, the idea has been fully formed, examined from all angles, and refined. Speaking too early feels like presenting a half-built house. Depth over breadth. They often find small talk draining and superficial. It feels like skimming the surface of an ocean when they'd rather be diving deep. They would rather have one meaningful conversation about the nature of happiness than 10 conversations about the weather. Their silence isn't a lack of interest in people, but a disinterest in the currency of casual chatter. The active observer, while quiet, they are not passive. They are absorbing immense amounts of information, reading body language, noticing subtle social dynamics, listening to the tone of voice, and analyzing the content of what others are saying. Their mind is constantly busy connecting dots and forming a rich, nuanced understanding of the situation. For this group, silence is deeply tied to their emotional world and temperament. High sensitivity. Many quiet people are highly sensitive persons. Their nervous systems are literally wired to process sensory data more deeply. A noisy room isn't just loud, it's an overwhelming flood of sound. Bright lights, strong smells, and the emotional energy of a crowd can be a lot to handle. Silence is a refuge, a way to reduce the stimulus and prevent becoming overstimulated and drained. Anxiety and fear. Social anxiety. This is one of the most common reasons, but it's important to distinguish it from simple shyness. For someone with social anxiety, social interaction is not just uncomfortable, it's perceived as a threat. Their internal monologue is a minefield. What if I say something stupid? Are they judging me? I need to come up with something clever to say. The fear of negative evaluation is so powerful that silence becomes a safety behavior. It's a way to minimize the risk of saying the wrong thing. The silence here is born from a place of fear, not contentment, shyness, and self-consciousness. Shyness is a temperamental trait, a wariness of social novelty and a fear of social disapproval. A shy person might want to connect but feels a barrier of self-consciousness. They are hyper-aware of themselves as a social object and worry about how they are being perceived. Popularized by Carl Jung and later by psychology, introversion is often the go-to explanation, but it's frequently misunderstood. Energy economics, not misanthropy. Introversion is about energy management. Social interaction, especially in groups, consumes an introvert's mental energy. Solitude and quiet recharge it. An introvert at a party is like a phone with a limited battery. Every conversation drains it a little. Silence, or stepping away, is like plugging in the charger. It's not that they aren't having fun, their body and mind are simply operating on a different energy budget. Extroverts, by contrast, are often energized by social interaction. The rich inner world is real. Introverts don't get bored easily when alone because their internal world is a source of entertainment. They have their own thoughts, fantasies, projects, and reflections to keep them company. Talking to others is just one way to engage with the world. For them, engaging with their own mind is equally, if not more, fulfilling. The power of mystery. In a world where everyone is constantly sharing, holding back can create an aura of mystery and depth. By not revealing everything, they force others to lean in, to be more curious. This can be a strategic move in both social and professional settings. Listening to win. They understand that you never learn anything while you're talking. By staying quiet and listening intently, they gather crucial information about people's motivations, weaknesses, and true intentions. In a negotiation or a competitive environment, the quiet listener often holds the advantage, choosing battles, They see no value in wasting words on trivial matters. They conserve their social and verbal energy for the moments that truly matter, when they have something important to say, when they need to defend a principle, or when they are with someone they truly trust. The pressure to perform. There is a constant, low-grade social pressure to be more outgoing, to come out of your shell. This can be incredibly exhausting. It sends the message that their natural state is somehow wrong or less valuable. The assumption of snobbery or stuck-upness. One of the most painful misconceptions is being seen as arrogant. When someone is quiet, people often project their own insecurities onto them, assuming the quiet person is judging them. In reality, the quiet person is usually far more focused on judging themselves. The deer in headlights moment. When put on the spot, "You're so quiet. Why don't you talk more?" The quiet person's mind can either go completely blank, if anxious, or become a roaring torrent of unutterable thoughts. The pressure to suddenly perform often has the opposite effect, cementing their silence. The joy of deep connection. When a quiet person finds a safe person or a small, trusted group, the dynamic can be transformative. The walls come down. They can be witty, insightful, passionate, and incredibly loyal friends. They value these deep connections far more than a wide network of acquaintances. Don't point out the silence. Saying, "Why are you so quiet?" is like pointing a spotlight at their perceived flaw. It immediately puts them on the defensive and increases anxiety. Create a safe, low-pressure environment. Instead of a large, noisy party, suggest a one-on-one coffee or a walk. Side-by-side activities, like hiking, building something, or visiting a museum, can be easier than intense, face-to-face conversation. Ask open-ended, thoughtful questions, instead of, "Did you have a good weekend?" which invites a one-word answer. Try, "What's a book/movie/podcast that's made you think recently?" Or, "What's a hobby you're really passionate about?" This gives them a runway to talk about something they care deeply about. Embrace the comfort of shared silence. Don't feel the need to fill every pause with chatter. Being able to sit in comfortable silence with someone is a sign of a truly strong connection. It communicates, "Your presence is enough. You don't need to perform for me." Listen actively when they do speak. When they offer a thought, give them your full attention. Don't interrupt. Validate their contribution. This builds trust and signals that their words are valued. The psychology of people who don't talk is a testament to the incredible diversity of the human experience. Their silence is not an empty void but a fertile ground for thought, observation, and deep feeling. They are the architects of complex ideas, the empathetic feelers of a room's energy, the strategic observers who see what others miss, and the loyal friends who offer depth over noise. In a world that often privileges the loudest voice in the room, we would do well to remember the profound power and wisdom that can be found in the stillness. The quietest people often have the most to say. We just need to learn how to listen.